So we're taking a look here at the challenge puzzle in this lesson 15, harvesting with conditionals. And this challenge level is activity 8 or puzzle 8. Um, the thing I'm going to say about this challenge puzzle is I'm not really sure how this is more of a challenge in terms of the puzzle, the challenge of the puzzle, than the last lesson, the last puzzle. But here we are. So I'll say this also, this challenge puzzle, the code we write for this challenge puzzle really should be very much applicable in the next couple of puzzles as well. So puzzle 9, puzzle 10 should be able to use very similar code to accomplish the things you need to in those puzzles. At least pretty similar code. All right, so I'm going to click. I'm ready because I'm ready for this challenge puzzle, and I have a feeling like you guys are either ready for it also, or you're here to check out a little bit of help for this challenge puzzle because you worked on it and you're like, man, this one's tough. And this one is tough. We've got to nest a number of different kind of conditionals in order to make this happen, but I know you can do it. Let's walk through it. All right. So what do we want to do? Well, I'm going to start with what I'm looking at, right? And what I'm looking at is I've got basically a spiral here. I'm going to go forward and go forward and go forward. So I see this spiral. And I see these cows are blocking my way as I continue around this spiral. So I'm pretty sure that wild path ahead loop is going to be a big part of what I'm doing. But I'm also going to look at the end, and ultimately I'm going around this whole spiral, and at the end of the spiral is that pumpkin, right? And we've done some other code with this, or you will do some other code with this. So I'm going to use this repeat until there are pumpkins loop. And that repeat until loop is going to make it so that I can go through this process over and over again until I get to the pumpkin, right? And then if you think about it, well, once I get to the pumpkin, what is it I need to do at that point? And the one thing I need to do at that point is pick the pumpkin. So very end of the program should be me picking the pumpkin to make this program locked up and ready to go. Well, what do we need to do until then? Well, I'm going to then use the wild path ahead, right? So I'm going to go all the way and bam, there's the end of the path. I'm going to go all the way and bam, end of path, end of path. Cow marks the end of the path. Again, cow end of the path, and then right there to the pumpkin. So end of that wild path ahead should work for me as a loop to use in this process. When there's not a path ahead, so what do I want to do when I lose that path ahead? Well, here I'm going to turn this way, and that's to the right, and then to the right, and then to the right. So I'm going to turn right when I lose that path ahead. That's going to make it so I can get through that whole thing, and again, spiral into that pumpkin. What does it want to do when there is a path ahead? Well, obviously, I'm going to move forward. Once I move forward, we got to remember there are pumpkins and corn, lettuce and corn. So I'm going to bring in a while there is corn loop and another one that's while there is corn, but I'm going to change it from corn to lettuce. So while there is corn, what I want to do, I want to pick the corn. And while there is lettuce, I'm going to pick the lettuce. And if you think about it a little bit, that means while there is nothing, I'm going to do nothing, right? Because if there's no corn, I'm going to move on to checking lettuce. If there's no lettuce, I'm going to move on, and that'll keep me going through that loop and moving forward. If there's nothing to pick, I'm not going to pick anything because there's nothing to pick that I've identified, right? And again, I'm going to keep going through this until I get to the pumpkin. Then I'll pick the pumpkin. Let's check out this code, see how it works. If we watch our farmer, here she goes, harvesting away, moving forward. And again, so far, all of these lettuces and corns are just ones. You can see over on the left hand side, there is a corn of 4. So we'll see how well our loops work at that point. But again, everything seems to be working well at this point. Here's our looped harvesting, but that was no problem. Again, the cow ends our path. Cow ends our path again. And here we are on the pumpkin, and we picked the pumpkin. And look at that. We wrote the code that we needed to write. It worked. We got the little celebration, little sparkles, and we're ready to move on. I'm positive you guys did a great job on this. If you've got questions, check it out. If this code helps you write some other code, again, that's a good thing, right? Thinking about how situations are similar within code makes a lot of sense for a lot of the things we're going to do. Can't wait to see what you guys have done. Get this code written.